Hey guys, it's the Endgame Level 3, and there's been more Final Fantasy VII Remake news. So Tetsuya Nomura, a few days ago, talked to Weekly Famitsu, and I wanted to discuss what he brought up in that interview. So, a thing that he brought up was the Keeper of Fate, the shadow smoke thing, but I've also seen it translated as the Watchmen of Fate or the Watchers of Fate. And yeah, it was saying that in the interview that it appears in front of your party. I don't know what that means. Yeah, that's kind of a weird way to put it. I'm guessing missing in translation or lost in translation or something. I'm not sure, but I honestly have no idea what this thing is at all. Like, is it a new enemy? Is it a gameplay element, a story element? It's obviously going to expand the lore, it seems, but how? I don't know. I mean, it has to do with something with fate. So, can you change the fate of characters? Change Aerith's fate so she doesn't die? But I don't think that's going to be the case because he does talk about the story later on. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but this is the one thing that makes me scratch my head the biggest when it came to this interview. So yeah. He also talked about there are dialogue choices, and these choices increase the size of the game. So I'm figuring there's a lot of dialogue choices if going by what he just said. Cool. Okay. I guess that makes it somewhat replayable. I don't think it's going to change anything. So, big thing that he talked about was the Honeybee Inn and the cross-dressing event. They're both in there, but they're going to be modernized. What does he mean by that? I don't know. The way it was in the interviews, it sounded like the buildings or something, but because it said something about the look of it, but I'm thinking the scenario as well. So I'm guessing by modernized, I think like the gay men will be gone, or anything that was outwardly gay in that part of the game will probably be gone, and that's probably a good thing because, well, with how things are today, I mean, it's pretty problematic, at least for certain groups of people. So, but then again, they kept the cross-dressing, so who knows what they're keeping in and what they're taking out. I mean, it's pretty bold that they're keeping that in there, so I mean, I don't mind. It was a pretty memorable scene from what I remember. And then he talks about the story, how it follows the original, but there's going to be added scenarios. So as you can see, Cloud and Jesse in the trailer were on a bike. So there was that whole scene with Cloud riding around and swinging his sword around in gameplay. So that's going to be in one of the added scenarios he was talking about, which is great because they have to expand the game. I mean, they are adding so many new events that they said they're gonna have 2 Blu-ray discs. So hopefully these new events are gonna be good, because you're adding a lot more to the story now. But like I said in a past video, there's gonna be stuff that I might not like in the game, and you might not like. It's a remake. They're retelling the story, so, and they're gonna do it in the way they want to. So hopefully they do it in a good way. He also brings up Aerith and Tifa's designs. Tifa will have more of an Eastern beauty aesthetic, whereas Aerith will have a more Western beauty aesthetic. Japanese Twitter or whatever, their social media kind of went nuts over there a little bit when it came to Aerith, because they were like judging her face, or like, oh, it's too long, and there should be a picture on the screen with showing how her face, they think how she should look like. Personally, I don't care. I mean, I like both. They look great to me either way. I mean, Square, you did a good job. They look wonderful. Speaking of Tifa, they reflected more on her design, so they wanted to make her look more realistic. and have a more athletic build, so she has abs. Great, no, not complaining there. But in the interview, Nomura did talk about how Square's ethics department wanted them to restrict Tifa's chest. And in this case, they don't mean her boobs. They meant make sure she's more tightened down. So that's why she has like a sports bra. In that black sports bra under her small tank top. So I understand that decision, and we'll get more. I'll get more into that, but she's fine. They then talk about the gameplay. They went through a lot of builds with the gameplay, and then they finally found the direction they were going after. And so when you saw in the gameplay trailers, you saw a hybrid system. And this hybrid system, you could either just go full action, or you can go with kind of the older system where you can use the ATB gauge system and make choices. So if you want to use MP, an item here, and slow down gameplay, and they called it command style RPG. They also said character switching is important. So each character has different abilities, and those abilities can be suited for different types of scenarios. So for example, Barrett has the ability to shoot long range because he's got a gun arm. So he would be way better for shooting things that are out of reach for Cloud or Tifa. You can use Cloud or Tifa, they just have to use magic. And that wastes MP. But with Barrett, no, he just keeps firing away. He loads his ATB, and and he could use a better attack. So he's just better in that scenario, and that's that's pretty interesting. It makes for more dynamic gameplay. I don't mind that. It's a good modernization of the gameplay. Let's just put it that way. How will that affect other characters? Because I know, like I said, Vincent has a gun. I think, Yuffie has her throwing star, her giant throwing star. So let's see, that's 3 characters that can do. What else can do with long range? I think that's it, because everybody else is melee. Or they could do, or they have to do magic. So I'm assuming there's gonna be more scenarios that will use other abilities for different scenarios for different abilities with different characters. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So maybe Red 13 can do something better than everybody else, and you have to use him in a certain thing, which will be great. He keeps you on your toes. But all right, let's go back to Tifa here a bit. So people were going like, what's going on? Her chest has been reduced, and then you find out this whole Square Enix ethics department. There could be some people taking to the idea, oh wow, Square has a boob checker. No, not really. I mean, it's an ethics department. So, and I've seen videos where it was tongue in cheek. They obviously know that it's not really a boob checking department. It's for to make sure that their games are fine in other countries. So a good example of this, I don't know if the ethics department was a thing back then, but a good example of this was Final Fantasy X, where they made the Albed language. And if I remember correctly, they had to make sure that language did not sound like they were cursing or making bad words in another language. So they had to be careful of that. And that's where the ethics department comes in, and they check. It's like, they got to make sure they do everything right in other countries. But yeah, Tifa's chest is fine overall. I mean, she's still wonderfully big. She's wearing a sports bra and she's still popping up. Imagine with what happens if she took off the sports bra. Yeah, and there could be that chance too when you go to Don Corneo, I think what's his name. And yeah, she's gotta look sexy there. So you're probably gonna see Tifa in her full glory in that case. I mean, again, I understand, why they did it. If they didn't, I think there was a scene in Final Fantasy, so in a cutscene where her boobs were just flying all over the place, and I don't think Square wants to go Team Ninja, because they're not known to be a fan service company. So, but big boobs are part of her design, and I think this is a good compromise. I mean, hell, they gave her thigh highs, you know, and I'm not complaining. I mean, it's like, oh well, we're going to restrict her chest with a sports bra, but in return, we're giving her thigh highs. You know, I'm not complaining about that. I know I'm gonna get some possible flack here, but listen to what I say in whole. If you're complaining about her chest, like, I hate you, Square, because you reduced her chest, and you're just bowing down to pressure from the left or whatever. Yeah, grow up. I mean, they're just boobs. I mean, I know it's part of her character, but at the end of the day, Tifa is more than boobs. However, this is why you have to listen to what I'm going to say completely. If you want to have a discussion around why her boobs were restricted, why, you know, they had to put on a sports bra, okay, that's a discussion to have. That is because you can talk about what you believe is censorship in the gaming industry, with Tifa's sports bra being a part of that, because you have other things going on as well. I mean, Trish had her butt censored. I mean, you know, there's other things within Sony. If you want to bring the discussion of censorship and stuff like that, fine. You know, that's like I said, that's a discussion to have, and people on the left have to realize that wanting to talk about this discussion about censorship is not, I want boobs, I'm angry. It's a discussion. You can't say that person is sexist or whatever, because they're talking about just generalized censorship, and so they're not being sexist. They just want to know what's going on. I don't think it's right. They're worried about artistic what am I looking for? Artistic integrity. So, you know, it's like, I want my character to have big boobs. I'm mad because one side's mad because your character has big boobs. You have to reduce. I was like, no. I don't think an artist should have to reduce a character's boobs or whatever. If you want if male character have big genitalia, you know, it doesn't matter. Just they shouldn't have to worry about what they make. But at the same time, understand that some companies also have to take measure that, sensibilities in other countries or whatever is going on. So in this case with Tifa, yeah, they tighten her down, but still, it's not that bad. It's a good compromise. She's fine. So I know I got a little rambly towards the end. Yeah. But what do you guys think? I know I might get hit with the whole grow up thing, but that's just in terms of just Tifa's boobs. It's not if you want to discuss stuff that's around it, everything else, that's fine, because I think that discussion should be had. But yeah. If you like what you saw, hit the follow button. I'm also on Twitch. You can follow me there. I have Twitter. Follow me there. Also, for notifications, ring the bell. But yeah, thank you very much. There are links coming down below for all my relevant social medias. Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next video.